Cousins Briar 626 here, and today I have something very special for you guys. Today we're going to be going over our first deck that we have in the MomoCon 2019 Bakugan tournament that went on. We're going to go over kind of what the deck is and kind of some of the combos that kind of went on with it. And kind of like the win ratios and stuff like that, because I got some of those, I got those stats of those numbers. Now, the person who used this deck, his name is Jack Polisky. I think I might have messed up your last name. I'm sorry, Jack, if I messed up your last name. Now, this deck was one of the decks I was actually very excited for when I saw it. Going in, I saw this deck and I said, hey, I need to see this deck profile before I even talked to the guy, and he told me about it. Because it uses, of course, Pyrus Howlkor Ultra, Pyrus Serpenteze Ultra, and Darkus Turtonium Ultra. It uses those three Bakugan, which we had done a Fury deck of before, but this one worked out really, really good. Now, his win ratios were, this was really good. So for his Thursday, on Thursday, the first day that the con went on, he went 12-0. That's his win ratio. He won 12 games, lost 0 games. I know, that's a lot for this deck, and we'll go into the deck as well. Friday was 13-1. Won 13 games, lost 1 game. He can't remember how he lost or what he lost to, but he does remember losing. Then Saturday, he went 15-0, so 15 wins, 0 losses. And then Sunday, 12 wins, 0 losses. So he had a very, very good turnout with this deck. I am very well surprised with this deck and how good it turned out to be. I thought there'd be a couple more losses in there, but I think this is a really, really good deck. Now, of course, kind of the cores that he used in the deck. Of course, we already told you about the Bakugan, and I'll kind of go in detail of what they are here actually now. So the main Bakugan was Pyrus Howlkor Ultra. So of course you can see the image right over there. It tells you that he is a 2 Magic Shield Bakugan. So he'll be using 2 Magic Shields going into that. His B power is 100, and his damage is 2. Now the B power, of course, is a little low, but his Evo makes him a whole lot better. Going in, and we'll talk about his Evo as well. The damage low as well. He's like literally the weakest Bakugan, I think, out of all of them. And even though he has the magic shields, it's still weak. There's nothing you can really do too much with that. Of course, his Evo, like I said, his Evo just blows him out of the park, how good he is. Then, of course, he had Pyrus Serpenteze Ultra. That's going to have a red fist and a green fist. 300 B power and 5 damage. Now this Bakugan is actually pretty good. His Evo is really good as well. It's a good start to getting somewhere, kind of getting some higher damage, higher B power, all those type of things. Then we ran the Darkus Turtonium Ultra with a magic shield and a green fist. He has 500 B power and 3 damage. So a good average Bakugan. There's like some in my eye. But he's a good average of them all. So he's kind of like the Bakugan that you kind of want to start off with, personally, I would say. And go out with him, and then play off of that. But that was pretty good. The Evos, of course, make him even better, because that's what the Evos do. But yeah, let's go ahead and check out the cores that he used. So of course we have all our cores. So he's running 3 plus 650 magic shields. So those are the magic shields he's using. Then using 2 100 B power, Pyrus Darkus gets plus 3 damage, Green Fist cores. That one's a pretty good one there, and it's only plussing to Pyrus and Darkus to get you that extra damage going in, which is really good. In this deck, it works out very, very well. And then it doesn't, I mean, it gives 100 to your opponent as well if they land on it, but they may not get the damage because they're not Pyrus or Darkus. Then he runs 1 250 B power and 3 damage Fire Fist or Red Fist. He uses that. And of course that's a pretty good general. That's actually the best Fire Fist out there right now. Using that core to help get some damage and some good B power going into it. Now let's go ahead and get into the deck. The deck is very, very interesting. Let's just put that. It's a lot of 2 copies or 3 copies of the same card. That's basically what the whole deck is. So the first card we're going to talk about is the Evos, which is he uses 3 Pyrus Hyper Howlkor Ultras. Now this Bakugan is really, really good. I think this is like the main Bakugan that you want to use in the deck. It is a 5 energy cost card for 1500 B power and 5 damage. That's a lot of damage, or that's not a lot of damage, but it's a lot of B power. But he has Fury. If you have no cards in your hand, plus 20 damage. So basically, he becomes 1525. 1500 B power, 25 damage. That's a lot of damage going in, and that's why this whole deck is basically a thing, is because of that damage rating there. Now, of course, that gives a big boost to Hyper Howlkor Ultra, making him from 100 to 2 to 15.5. Excuse me, 15.5 or 15.25, depending on the situation. But for the most part, you're most likely going to have all your cards emptied in your hand, so you'll be able to play it. So it's a really, really good card. Now, it's a Bakugan Elite, so it's a little harder to get, but it's still a fantastic card nonetheless. Then we have the next Evo, which is Hyper Serpenteze Ultra. For 2 energies, 500 B power, and 7 damage. Fury, if you have no cards in your hand, plus 5 damage and 1000 B power. So this is like your good way to quickly get into the Fury. If you have a Fury option, this is a guy to get into that. With an extra, basically he becomes 1512. So he becomes 1512. So 1500 B power, 12 damage. So which is actually a really good. I think all of these are almost at 1500 B power if Fury goes off. And then whatever amount of damage they want to give it to that. But he's a 2 energy cost, so it's a pretty quick one to get out. So that helps get that your Serpenteze Ultra to get even bigger damage and bigger B power as well. Then we have the Darkus Turtonium Ultra for 4 energies, 1000 B power, and 15 damage. And when you play this, you must discard your hand. Now with this, the discarding, of course, is nice. You'll be able to discard basically every card in your hand, so you have access to that Fury if you need to. Now he ran 3 copies of this in Serpenteze. I think I forgot to say. He ran 3 copies of Serpenteze Ultra. And 3 Titan Turtonium Ultras. Now the Titan Turtonium is actually a really decent card. Just getting that B power and that damage going in works out phenomenally. But the effect is just that thing that kind of hurts it, because you don't want to get the... You have all your good cards in your hand, but you have to play Turtonium and then discard all those good cards in your hand that you wanted to use, but you can't. So that's the only thing I will say that does hurt that a little bit, is that there. I mean, he basically is the person who sets up for your Fury, for all your Fury effects. So that gets you like basically 0 cards in your hand. That is a Bakugan that does that. That's why he runs 3 of them in there to kind of help get that there. Of course, there was times where it got very cloggy with that when he ran 3. He was telling me that a little bit. He said it got a little cloggy because you are running 3 and you don't want to discard all the time. So you have to put in energy, or you have to discard it through an effect. It kind of works out. I would say reduce it down to 2, but I mean, he was even talking about reducing it down to 2. But 3 works out. I mean, I think 3 is working out pretty well anyway. And then we have the action cards. Now we passed all the Evos. We're gonna get into the action cards. The first action card is going to be Quickfire, which is a 0 energy cost card. It makes a Pyrus attack for 1 damage, and you may re-roll your Bakugan. So basically this is saying, hey, you take 1 damage from my card, and then I can re-roll my Bakugan if I miss a roll with it. Works out really good. So you miss a roll, you play Quickfire, 0 energies, boom, they basically take the top card of their deck, put it down, and then you get a re-roll again, so that you can basically hopefully land a core and get into a battle that way, which is very, very nice. Then we have the 1 energy Superfuel. This is a great card. If you run Pyrus, you have to run Superfuel. And it says you must re-roll your Bakugan, and if it opens, you may re-roll the on the re-roll. The next card you play costs 3 energies less on this turn. So basically, it helps get some of your cards out a lot quicker. So it can help get, I mean, there's a lot of cards like the Evos, you can reduce it down to 3. So Hyper Howlkor, instead of being 5, it'd be down to 2. Titan Turtonium would be down to 1 if you land on it. And then of course, if you have like 3 or less, you basically are able to play those cards for free. So which is great. Superfuel, 3 copies of that, you need to run it. And that's what he did there. Then we have 3 copies of Air Zero, which is a 2 energy cost card. Reveal the top card of your deck. if it is not a flip, you may play it for free. Now this could be Evo, this could be action card. As long as it's not a flip card, you could play it for free. So hero, everything, but flips. So which is really good. Basically, this is just a smaller version of Dan. It's a lot quicker version of it. Of course, you can't do it just as it keeps opening, but it's still a good way to activate cards a lot quicker on like your turn 2 rounds to help to activate a level 5 card or a energy cost of 5 card for basically on turn 2 for 2 energies, which is really good. Then our next card is Might of Cyndeus. Now this card is good. It's a 2 energy cost card. We're running 3 of these in the deck, by the way. 1 damage. This turn the victor is decided by highest damage instead of B power. All your Bakugan have high damage. And basically everything you have is going to be boosting up that damage. So all your Evos onto it is going to give them 15, if not more, damage. So playing Might of Cyndeus to actually get an extra 1 of that, basically making it 16 or more damage after Fury, your opponent's not going to get over that. There's nothing you can do to get over 15 damage. Unless if they just keep adding damage onto them. There's no other way. And then plus whatever the core gets. So if you land on a Fire Fist or a Green Fist, those are going to get you 3 extra damage on top of that. So if you have 15, that's 16 or 18 damage. And then Might of Cyndeus, 19 damage? That's the base, 19? What are they going to... They can't get over that. And that's not even on a team attack. That's just straight up normal damage on 1 Bakugan. And if you could get that on 3 Bakugan, and they're all 19 each, oh my word, that's like, you basically are doing, what is it, 19 plus 19 is 28, so you're doing 28 right off the bat, and I'm pretty sure if you do 28 damage, that's all the cards they have left in their deck, so yeah, that works out really good, and it helps win, so you don't have to worry about that B power bonusing as well, because you guys have low B power in this deck. Your B power is very, very low, so winning by damage makes it a whole lot better. Then we have a 3 energy cost card for, we're using 2 of these now. We're getting the cards that you only run 2 of, which is Inferno Wings. Now, Inferno Wings is a 3 energy cost card plus 300 B power. And remove all Bakukor's enemy Bakugan hold and negate their effects. Basically, remove all Bakukors your enemy has, your opponent has. So if they're using Green Fist, get rid of all those Green Fists, and you'll be able to have your bonuses, and they don't have their bonuses, so you can win a lot quicker, which is really good. This card is really, really good. I almost would want to bump it up to 3, but I don't know. There's some cards I kind of like. This one and the next one I kind of debating on bumping up to 3, or even getting another card as well. I don't know, debating on it. But it seems really, really good. In this deck, and this is what I did. I think that was the main change I did when after I did the last Fury deck brawl. I did that. I just put Inferno Wings in there, so I have it in there instead. Then the next card is going to be Song of Fire. Now we're running 2 of these. It's a 3 energy cost card plus 5 energies. Now you may be wondering, like, oh, how do I plus 5 energies? Basically, turn 3 you play this. You have 5 energies for that turn, so you have 5 makeshift energies. What that's going to do is basically say, hey, you have 5 energies this turn, you can use it. Once this turn ends, you can't use those energies anymore. So it lets you be able to play your stop cards a lot quicker. It's able to let you play your Hyper Howlkor on turn 3 to help get him boosted up as well. There's a lot of those type, that works out the way to do it. And of course, you can also use Superfuel or Air Zero. Yeah, Superfuel and Air Zero to play this card for free, so that you can get an extra 5 energies for that turn. And you could be on turn 1. Turn 1, 5 energies, Hyper Howlkor Ultra. Imagine that. Imagine that. Hyper Howlkor Ultra, turn 1. It's a 5 energy cost card. Yeah! That would be crazy what you could do with that. Of course, you still have, you can't pull off the 25 damage. If you can pull off 25 damage turn 1, props to you. Let me just say props, because that's cool. And you can do 25 damage. That's basically half their deck turn 1, if not more than half their deck turn 1. That's That's crazy if you could do that turn 1. But even so, I would try to do that. I want to do that one day. I want to try to do a Song of Fire where you can get the Hyper Howlkor turn 1. That'd be great. So yeah, so that is the action cards going through. Go ahead and go to the flip cards. So he runs 6 flip cards, 3 and 3. The first one is Block Outsiders for 3 energy, stopping non-Pyrus Bakugan. Simple card. It's straightforward, just stops a non-Pyrus Bakugan. And stops it there for 3 energies. Then, of course, the best flip card in the game, Pact of Darkus. Don't have to talk too much about this one. 4 energy, stop a Darkus Bakugan. And then if you could discard a card, play it for free. So basically, you're playing that for free, pretty much. Unless you have 4 energies, which, if you just don't want to discard a card, there you go. But you want to discard the cards in this deck, and that's the one way to do it. And getting that. And that's just the best card. One of the best flip cards in the whole entire game now. Then we're getting into our heroes. Now he runs 3 heroes. There's 3 copies of this card here, which is Barbra Kouzo. This is a 3 energy cost card, Fury. At the end of the turn, if you have no cards in your hand, draw a card. Now this is guaranteed. You have to draw a card if you have no cards in your hand, if you have this on play. Of course, this card does not stack. So you can't go Barbra Kouzo, Barbra Kouzo, Barbra Kouzo. So you can't draw 3 cards. You only can draw 1. Because when one goes off, it says now you have 1 card in your hand. The second one goes, oh wait, can't play because you already have 1 in your hand. So you basically want 1 on the field per turn, but it's a better way to help get the to get cards in your hand during the end of the turn that you are low on cards with. Then we run 3 Dan Kouzo, 4 energies. Then this card, this is the Battle Brawlers Dan Kouzo, not the BR Dan Kouzo. But this is the Battle Brawlers Dan Kouzo, 4 energies. When you open a Bakugan, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's not a flip card, play it for free. So basically, every time you open a Bakugan, you can basically play the top card of your deck for free. So that would also work with Quickfire, basically letting you re-roll your Bakugan. You open up once, play the Dan. Oh, guess what? Play the next one again. Play Quickfire, get deal of damage, and then open up your Bakugan again to play another top card of your deck. Works out super great. I like that combo of that, using it. It's great. I like Dan. Dan's one of my favorite heroes right now. And Pyrus, of course, because he's like one of the best Pyrus heroes. Then we have our last card of the deck, which is Mech. For 4 energies, the turn this card is played, the victor is decided by damage instead of B power, and your Bakugan have +2 damage. Now the +2 damage works out fantastically because it gives you more damage, and then it basically is a Might of Cyndeus, but in hero form, which is good. So that helps you, like, of course, win the B power instead. So yeah, so it's a really, I like this deck. This deck is really good. Here's a picture of the deck here, and I also will have the deck list down below in the description of everything going through that way. But shout out to Jack there for running this deck, and props to you for winning that many games, because that takes some skill going through winning that many games. But yeah. So, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you click that like button down below. And if you did, go ahead and click that subscribe button and become a cousin in our family. And make sure you click that bell icon because you guys get notified of videos just like this one here. Because we'll be doing some more videos like this. So I have other decks from MomoCon that I want to review. Kind of go over, talk about them a little bit, and a little bit of the combos going in and out of what they could do. And then also, I'll be doing some more giveaways of the Briar 626 trading card here. I'll be doing some more giveaways here soon, so keep an eye out for that. If you're wanting to win one, keep an eye out for it. And then I'm also going to be going to Bakugan Demo Day, which is this Saturday, which is June 1st. Yeah, June 1st. I'll be going to a GameStop in Kissimmee, Florida. All the details will be down in the description below. If you guys want to join out, come say hi, come play around. I will be there. If you're not from Florida, I'm so sorry. But post pictures, I'll see them. I'll be coming around. I'll be doing videos there as well for that Saturday, or what you'll see them Sunday probably because it's a little later. But yeah. So remember, Ohana means family, and family is don't get left behind or forgotten. And I will see y'all next time. Bye.